Hello, welcome. I'm so thrilled to make this video today. It is near and dear to my heart because it's all about being an empath and having this huge, like super huge heart that feels all the feels. And it can get extremely overwhelming at times because you get overwhelmed with emotion. You get overwhelmed with your environment. You get overwhelmed, and you don't know over time who you are because you've taken on so much overwhelm from all around you, from within you, and it's like locked in. It's like locked in you, so you can't seem to bust out of it, and you can't seem to come to this place in your heart, the center of your being. You can't find it. And it leaves you to wander around aimlessly in this world, saying yes to other people because you have no idea what you even need or would want to say yes to. So you just go with the flow. You go with where the motivations of other people take you. A different kind of go with the flow that we all hear about, like just go with the flow, be zen. It's a different kind of go with the flow when you don't know who you are, when you don't have a stake in the ground in your life. So that's what we're going to talk about today. How there are so many people in this world that have these big hearts. And I'm specifically talking to women because that's who I work with. That's who I am. That's the experience I have. And therefore, that's what I have to share. So how can we turn this big loving heart, this empathic heart, into a gift instead of a curse? Because let's all be honest, most of us that are sensitive, most of us that feel all the feels, feel almost kind of like, why was I the one that is created this way? Why did Source give me this bleeding heart in a world that is so full of hurt? Why would anyone do that play that sick, cruel joke on me? Why would I be given this in this world? And there is a reason for that. And I am living proof of it. And that's why I'm here, because I want to share my story, share my truth in a way to help you, the world, myself. This is all part of it. This is how it goes. It's a journey that you go on into discovering who you are to the depths of your soul and being able to navigate with this big heart, with the intuitiveness of your body, your internal guidance system that's always working with you. Those feelings are your compass. And it's part of my passion, my mission, to be an advocate for all of these people with these big hearts and how to learn how to come online with that, how to use that, because it is such a powerful gift and it is completely needed right now. We need the lovers to be empowered with their presence. We need these empathic people, women, men, children, to understand the gift that they were actually given. It is not a curse. It's a curse until you learn how to use it. And we have not really been modeled how to embody this, how to ground this beautiful, sensitive being that we are, this intuitive being, this feeling that's always kind of there, nigging or like tapping on you, saying there's another way, there's another way, there's another way for you to exist. You were not created to live life this way. You were not created to feel trapped into a life that you know is not yours, that the rest of the world models. Not all of it, but the majority of it. So that's what we're going to talk about today. And that's what I'm super passionate about, as I've said. Now, how do we begin this? Because I'm guessing most of you had no clue that you were even an empath, What is an empath? A person that feels, that can feel the energy in a room, that can pick up on energy of other people, and you feel it instantly. You know instantly what's kind of going on. You can pick it up. But if you don't know that that is an intuitive ability that you have, you think that everything that you're picking up on has to do with you, with me, with us. I would internalize those feelings as my own, thinking that that anxiety is my own, that fear is my own, that joy is my own. It goes in all directions. There is no good or bad, and that is down the road. That's other things I'll be talking about. But right now, I want to just merely bring to light the fact that you can feel and intuit and empath other people's emotions is a gift. And it's here and it's needed. And that's why you are here. That's why you were blessed with this heart, because we need you. We need your presence to show the world how to feel instead of fight, how to be comfortable in our own skin instead of thinking there's something wrong with us. And we're going to debunk that myth right now. There is not anything wrong with you. There isn't. There can't be. Because at the base of who you are is this pure divine essence of who you are, the truth. That's the truth, right? So anything that isn't that isn't you. It's something that we have absorbed as a belief that we've taken on. So we're covered in these false beliefs, and we're just like smothered down in unexpressed emotions because we're taught and modeled that we're supposed to be here and be happy all the time. Like that's the goal, right? That's the definition of success. The success is if you are a beaming ray of sunlight all the time, which is just not realistic. And it is not why we are here. We are given the capability to feel, to show people how to feel, to teach others how to feel, because that's where we become free. When we are no longer afraid of ourselves and expressing whatever comes up through us as a way to transcend that emotion, as a way to release what has been sucked in because it's not supposed to be there. And the reason it's coming up is for you to acknowledge it, to release it, and transcend it into the gift that it is. And there's been so much that has been suppressed within us that we have a lot of releasing to do. But this isn't something to be afraid of. It's something to be empowered about. This is the soul perspective of looking at who you are, the soul perspective on the world, on you and how you show up, not the ego mind, the logical mind, the monkey mind, the ungrounded ego, the logical up here. So if we think that we need to control everything with our mind, we're never going to be free from the suffering, from the pressure, from the anxiety, from the sadness, from the depression, because the mind is always going to tell us that there's some tricks, something that we need to do out there in order to be accepted, and that's all it is. If I get this, if I do this, if I show up as this, if I just make this person that I can feel is feeling so uncomfortable in my presence, if I can make them happy, that means that I'm happy too. I can't be happy unless that person's happy. And that's where the empath can get very blurred in their vision of themselves, of the perception of who they are. And that's where we learn how to unravel everything that we've sucked in. And we compassionately can detach and observe, see what's going on around you. And if you feel something come up, that is your gift to transcend. It is there for you to bring up and to release, to acknowledge and send love to. That's how we move through this. That's how we become free, when we realize that that is our superpower. And then we become empowered about our superpower, and we become grateful for anything that arises, because it's just another opportunity to release what isn't serving us anymore. The density. Release the density. You can feel it. You can feel it in you. And it's there to be released and acknowledged. And it can only do that when we give our attention to it in a positive way, in a loving way. Because love is light. That's what we're made of. We're made up of 99.9999% space, right? Space. The rest is so small. The matter, the physicality of what we see isn't really what we see. We're the space in between. That is love. That is source. That's what we're made of. And when we start to identify with that part of ourselves, with the soul, with the essence, with divine authority, from the heart, and we start looking at life from the lens of the heart, you see everything differently. And that's when we get into the subtle realms, accessing the subtle realms, and we get into transcending these emotions that are coming through, the density, quicker, easier, there's less pain involved. The better you get at it. And the better you get at it just means the less you fear feeling it. We are not here to fight the feelings. We're here to feel the feelings, because that brings us to freedom, emotional freedom. And when we're no longer scared of what life is bringing at us, because life is the spiritual practice, we don't even need to think about what it is. We just need to be conscious. We just need to be aware of our surroundings and what's coming through into your surrounding area. What's in your life right now? That is your spiritual practice. Your response is the practice. Your response, the energy that you bring through to the world, to those around you, to yourself, as you're making your coffee. That's the spiritual practice. Your life is set up for you to awake. Everything you need is coming to you. And it's the conscious response of how you look at that will free you and allow you to release that density, transcend the density with the vibration of love, light. Light is what dissolves. It's the only thing that will dissolve, is love, light, and the conscious attention to focus that love and light and that nurturing energy to those areas of density. And this is how we do it. And it never ends. And that's where we surrender to. We surrender to the fact that we're always going to be transcending, evolving, and expanding. Expansion. A lot of times people get lost in the idea of ascending, which is true. We do raise our vibration, and that's when everything changes around us, because it dissolves the density that no longer serves us, and therefore our vibration is different, so therefore our perspective is different, and that's when things change. But we think that we transcend and we raise up and we go somewhere far, far, far away, and really all you're doing is embodying that light. That's the goal, is to embody the truth, and we expand our bandwidth of perception. The way that we see becomes widened. It's like the internet. The faster the internet, 4G, 5G, whatever, you can download quicker and you process quicker, and you can detach. You're not as attached to the controlled way that we're brought up, because it's not the way it is. It's not linear at all. It's completely reversed. Everything that we have learned is backwards. Reverse it all. So that's when you hear, oh, like your life gets turned upside down. It's literally that way. But you can do it in a way where you take these baby steps each day and you slowly make the changes in a way that honors your path, that you can handle, that you can embody, not in a way of fear, the little baby steps that you can take right now. So a lot of times as empaths, we're getting these big grand ideas, right? They're like way out there. There's something that you feel and know to be true, but it's so big that it overwhelms you, because to get there, you've got to do all these things and you're not quite there vibrationally to do that. So we don't put ourselves in that state. We see that, we feel that, we know that, and then we command and decree with intent, because we are conscious creators. We're fractals of source. So we have that ability, right? It's the quantum physics, the subtle realm. And we call that forth. This is the vision. I feel this coming. I know this to be true. It's so real within me that I call this forward in the step that I can take today that is realistic and kind and gentle and graceful, but yet kind of stretches me, but I'm really excited about making this step. That's how you slowly start to move forward, little by little, in ways that honor your path and not overwhelm your nervous system that is not caught up. Because our body is really what we need to bring with on this path of ascension and expansion as a soul being, as an empath. It's the body that's got to catch up. It's the body that's transcending. It's the body. It holds the density. So we've got to learn to take care and nurture the body through the feelings. The feelings are our roadmap. The feelings are the compass. And therefore, you can see what a gift being an empath is, because you have this ability to tune in and listen, and it becomes this innate intelligence, this instinctual response. You learn the language of your soul. I say that over and over because it's so completely important. It's the only language you need to know. It will take you where you need to go. We don't have to know. It's completely different than what we've been shown. And it takes little steps and surrounding yourselves with people that are choosing not to live in a linear way. Yes, we have responsibilities, and yes, we follow through with them. But how we do that, when we do it, what it feels like when we do it, is our choice. And I choose to live in the unknown. I don't always know how it's going to turn out, and that's okay. I just know when I'm supposed to take action by the intuition, through the feelings, when I'm supposed to make a step. And I do it. And I let it go. I trust whatever that was supposed to do will do it. And it does. And it frees you up immensely. Like the density of trying to figure it out goes away. The stress of trying to figure it out goes away. The headache, the anxiety, the overwhelm, it goes away when you let go of the outcome and what exactly it looks like. We're never going to exactly know. We only know the feelings of how we want to live. And that's what we follow. And it takes time to learn this way because we've shut that off since we've been children. And we've been fed all these false beliefs that we've taken on, that this is how you do it. So it's an unraveling. It's a complete unraveling. And that's what I'm here to do. That's why I'm here to talk about this. That's why I'm here to bring these subjects up, because no one's talking about this. There are select people that are, and they're coming out. And I'm probably gonna guarantee that if you're still watching this video, it's you. You are that person too. You are meant to start taking these steps towards a different, new, free life that is all based in presence and consciousness and heart-based living. Love is the main vibration that we act from. It's the only way we take action. And if we mess up, then we love the one that messed up. If we screw up, we love the one that screwed up. If we hurt someone, we love the person that hurt someone, and we love the person that's hurt. You don't have to take on, this is the biggest part about being an empath, is we do not have to carry the emotions. We care. We care instead of carry. We don't take it on. We love from a distance. And when that person, if there's someone that is wanting to be in your life, and you usually in the past would be codependent, you would be the saver, and you break off from that, you do that lovingly, knowing that that other person has the full capability within them to become empowered with their presence as well. and to start unraveling in a way. But they have to be willing to open their heart. It won't happen unless a person is willing to open their heart. And that includes you, and that includes me. And that's why I'm making this video, because it requires me to open my heart and share this. That's how you live. It's with an open heart, and you bring that everywhere, and it changes everything in the most beautiful way. But it takes presence, dedication, and devotion. So are you willing to do that? Do you feel the tinglies? Do you feel the truth? Usually when we talk about these things like this, it's like that deep part of ourselves that we've covered up and ignored because it wasn't ever talked about is going, oh, yes, yes. And it's like drawing you forward. It's pulling you forward. It's going, oh, and everything else goes around you. Like everything else around you goes away, right? You're here. You're in the present moment. Distractions are gone. You're not thinking about anything else. That is a way that your soul talks to you. That is your intuition speaking to you. It's part of the language of your soul. And those are the things that you learn over time. And that's how you navigate in the world. So I'm going to wrap this up. I just wanted to have this conversation, start putting this out there and sharing from my heart, from the perspective of everything I've gone through and what I've come to know, what I've come to embody as my truth. And this is my truth. I live it, speak it, know it. I'm devoted to it. There's nothing that can take me off this path of the heart. Nothing. And if I go off path, guess what? I'm going to love the one that goes off the path. So you can see how it doesn't end. And that's why I've also created this offer today. It's Tuesday, Thankful Transformation Tuesday. That's the offer. And I'm offering 20% off my packages for mentoring, to work one-on-one. If you feel like you want to continue this journey in your heart, but you don't know where to start, I completely understand. I was there. That's why I do this, to help those that were in my shoes, that I was there. I get it. And I wish I had this. So that's why I offer these services in hopes to help be a part of the change, so that you can be a part of the change. Because let's be honest, yes, this is doing it for you, but you're doing it for the world. You're doing it for everyone you love, to become empowered with your own presence, with your own divine love and your divine authority and how you show up. And yes, we're still human beings, and we still laugh, and we still get to do things that we love, but we just become so aligned in our choices. That is the responsibility, is to be aligned in your choices and to honor your sacred heart. So if you're interested, please just reach out. If you want to know more, just reach out. I'm not here to do anything but work with those that I'm meant to work with. So I'm very flexible and honest. So reach out to me if you would like to continue this discussion, and continue to follow me, because there's going to be so much more that I'm going to be sharing. And it's just like creating this conscious conversation so that we can all become, have a place to go to hear this kind of stuff. So thank you so much. Bless you. I love you. Goodbye.